Thank you for staying with us. And this time we'll talk about you and living. We're looking at family relations. Um, so, see this right up here. Relationships said to be the bedrock of life. Among several relationships we have, one cannot be taken for granted, no matter what you do. You can't.
No marks for guessing which one that is.
No marks for guessing, indeed. You can't take that one for. You can take your friends for granted. You can take your colleagues for granted. But you see, family, no matter where you go to, any which way you want to look at it, you would always have to come back to the family one way or the other. You don't want to talk to your nuclear family, your extended family will come in somewhere. You don't want to talk to your extended family, your in-laws will come in somewhere. Some
Their
way,
family
somehow.
too.
Family will come in somewhere. So how do we handle relationships in this period where everybody is together? There've been stress, there've been friction, before everybody went out to work, but now everybody's in.
So the interaction is a lot more than one is used to.
Anyway, so to help us understand family relations, we have here Tunde Aleshin, who's a John Maxwell Certified Leadership Coach. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning.
We're expecting from our Abuja studio, hopefully she'll join us before we run, through Okemute Olori, who's a parenting coach. She'll be joining us from our Abuja studio in due course. But let's start with you, Tunde. What do you think about the situation now brought on by this pandemic in terms of family relations?
So thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. So it's a good morning, world. So nobody planned it, and really, this is a very interesting time. It will really show whether the family you have is healthy, or it has problems. It's really, and that's the issue on the table. It's really going to, come out to show the issues on ground. And you can't run away. Okay, you might say you're an essential staff and you leave the house. But you're not that you're stuck with your children. Like I have 3 lovely 2 teenagers. I have that are 2 extremes. Okay? And I have a son that is 11 that is always headlocked with his elder sister. So my daughter called a family meeting.
Oh dear.
On Sunday.
Please, how old is your daughter?
14, 2 weeks' time.
She
No, sorry,
called-
14, June 12th. Yes.
She called a family meeting
And I'm serious.
to discuss what was on the agenda, please.
She said she and her brother don't see eyeball to eyeball, and she's tired of the conflict.
Well, she and her older brother or younger
brother. So I have 3 children. I have a 16-year-old that clocked 16 April 14th during the crisis. Was another challenging issue.
Okay.
Because 16 for a beautiful teenager is something. Like she had planned it. She had planned the clothes she wanted to wear. She had planned the restaurant we'll go to.
Sweet 16.
And everything just went poof.
So she had a family called a family
Yes.
meeting. And what was decided at the family
Oh, interestingly,
meeting?
we wanted to run it for, I thought it was a 10-minute stuff. And we were there for 1 hour, close to 2 hours after dinner. Now, guess what, though? For me, it was very fruitful. So what I want to say to couples or to the families, because really, this for me, you should see it as an opportunity. I'm an half full guy. So if you see a cup of water and you say, is it half empty or half full? For me, it's half full. Or is it quarter full or 3/4 empty? I'll use
It's quarter full.
3/4 full. I keep the full in my mind because it helps me to see the possibility. I love John Maxwell a lot. He said, in the middle of the crisis, so much opportunities there. So if you look at it very well, and that's what I want to tell every couple, every family, there is so much opportunity to not only know your kids, to press the reset button, to re-love your wife again, to be that parent that you have never been. And that's what happened to us. So when she started talking, if you see what came out of her mouth, I mean, I can't disclose the phone. I can't say that here now. But what came out blew my mind, blew my wife's mind. And I've learned, don't stop them when they start talking.
That's right.
Because you want them to get to a safe space. And that's how she spoke and spoke. And guess what? After she spoke what she didn't like about her brother, her brother had to say what, he started to cry and started saying all this stuff. And then his elder sister started to be the judge. And then you believe it, that went without accusing everybody, including myself. They brought my issues to the table. And that is X, that is Y, that is Z, whatever. That is.
And then in the end, they hugged and kissed.
So at the end, I said to everybody, don't forget we have to be friends.
Because we're family.
Yes. I love that. Because we are family.
Okay. We've been joined by Okemute, who is from our Abuja studio. Okemute Olori is a parenting coach. Mute, thank you for joining us. I don't know if you heard when Tunde...
Thank you very much.
So I don't know if you heard when Tunde was talking about the family meeting they had, how everybody's issues were tabled, opportunity provided by the pandemic. What do you have a situation like that you want to tell us about, or what do you think that was really necessary?
I have, and I'm sure just like Tunde, every family is undergoing this. The situation and the truth is, we've never had an experience where we're all locked up in the same room, the same space. We're not used to it. So when we are now faced with this pandemic, it kept us together. We now began to understand each other. We now began to notice the nuances, the problems, that it has been swept under the carpet. They started coming out. And I had this situation he's talking about, especially with my son. Now his birthday, he turned 14, April 1st. Now he had it all planned out, what's going to happen. So when we had this situation and everybody was like, it was the heat of it, we couldn't go out. There was nothing we can do. This guy got cranky. My son that is so gentle started talking back, started airing his mind, the way he feels. Like he said, the parents were the first call, where they vent their emotion or vent their anger on. But as a transformed parent, what we do is to be calm, listen to them, allow them express themselves. And like Tunde said, we had to hold a family meeting. So what is it? What's the problem? We had another issue of using the internet. They want to be in the internet. Now, this is a problem that we've not had time to address as parents. Where we go to work, the children go to school, we've never had a space where 24 hours we're looking at each other. So children want to live in the online, on their phone or in the internet. Parents also want to live online. Nobody is talking to anyone. So right now, I'm like, no, I am here. When you guys are in school is different. We're here. We're human beings. We're family. We're together. Can we talk? Can you drop your phones? Can you leave the online? Can you leave the internet? It became a problem. It became a problem. So he said, what are we going to talk about? So we had to create something to talk about. So this pandemic, this lockdown has really revealed a lot of things. Our temperament, our behavior, our ability to assimilate, our ability to tolerate, our ability to know our children much more. That is if we did take advantage of it as parents. So it's been very revealing for me and for my children and for many parents.
Okay.
As a parenting coach, I had to deal with a lot of them coming. They feel like, I'm going to kill someone. I'm going crazy. I can't run out from my home, But we had to start asking them, calm down. What do we do? We had to start doing, the counseling this period was much more than I've ever experienced. Honestly, for the years I've been in parenting coach. But it's been very revealing. And I think that parents can't wait for this lockdown to be over. And children can't wait for this lockdown to be over so that they can go back to their own life and to their world, to their friends, and to what they know how to do best.
But so in some cases, we see some parents who actually divide and rule their children and cause bad blood between one or two, between siblings, that's right. In what way can we become better parents? When I was growing up, for instance, you didn't dare talk back to your parents. But those days are far gone.
They're gone.
I mean,
They're gone.
I can't imagine when I
They're
was
gone.
even 25 years old telling my father, I want a family meeting. What? What have you been sniffing? Some cheap stuff?
Yeah.
But a 14-year-old can say, Dad, we need to have a meeting. And you all pay attention and you sit down.
Yeah. Yeah. So my son yesterday came to me and they wanted the internet issues. So I said, yeah. And for me, I want to advise parents, okay, know your child, okay, but it's critical. The internet is not evil because you can learn a lot on the internet. Yeah. My first daughter told me that, Daddy, I'm trying to do XYZ course, and guess where I found more about it? On YouTube. On YouTube. During this lockdown, we wanted to clean something in the house, and we were struggling how to clean it. I went to the YouTube, and you won't believe, step by step. So it's not bad. But everything, like I can tell my kids, you have to learn to put a knife on your throat. Excess of everything is dangerous. So internet is not bad. You have to learn, put boundaries around it. So what we've done is say, okay, you have to use it X, Y, Z time. After that, you give it back. We cut it off, okay? Don't be too extreme, because some other parents are too extreme. I heard of a dad that punished his daughter, or son, sorry, because he did something very bad. And what was the punishment? He didn't buy jam form. So that's extreme. Because the son will be at home a nuisance to you
For a year.
for a year. That's an extreme. So don't do that. So you have to know your children. So what we've done though is we've put boundaries. After online schooling, you can use it for X, Y, Z. After that, everybody's shut down. So they've not been living by that. And yesterday my son came to me and said, Daddy, during your own time, I told them that my dad during this TV that your own time is old school. You know that, Daddy. Exactly. My son is 11. He said your own time is old school. And I know that you have to know that we are at different times. and he started negotiating for, okay, let's do that this time. I said maybe 10:1. He said no, 10:50. And I was just looking at it. So what I want to ask, based on your question, is allow them to be in a comfortable space. Be their friends. What does friends do? Friends tell each other the truth. Remove that parenting hat, but don't forget, you can keep the parenting hat. Mm-hmm. I'm reading a book and it says, you must learn to have people, you must let people give you their voices, but not their votes. So I don't know if you understand that. They must understand you are still the parent, but they must be able to have a voice. Mm-hmm. Very, very important.
You are my friend, but I'm still your father.
Yes, very important.
Okay.
So right. Because you say, okay, I want to make them happy. No, happiness sometimes is not the best thing. Because they have to go through discipline. And discipline is not always sweet. Like I told my son one day, character is key. Character is key. Failure is beautiful. I'm sure there's some things that your life went down that can make you see the better side of life. So failure is not always bad. Some journeys are necessary to get the best of you. Like I always say, your life can be because of you. Life is too small to be the reason for you. Your life is bigger than you. And so unfortunately, if you pamper them too much, you create all kinds of issues. So what I want to ask that parent that is going through issues, just go online. It's not difficult. How do I be an effective dad of a teenager? Because it's different from an adolescent. It's different from a toddler. It's different from a 4-year-old that is full of energy.
Teenagers.
You understand? So they are different. So
they can drive you up the wall.
Sometime last week, I asked my daughter to come. I was typing an email because I'm still working. I have a 8 to 5 job that, interestingly, very, very busy. Apart from coaching, I do by the side, and I'm working extensively. And I had to send this email to an executive somewhere. And I asked because I felt I made a mistake. I asked my daughter to come and help me read it, and she said, "No, Daddy, I won't read it for you." And I begged, and time was kicked in. And she just walked away. And that influenced our brother. I felt very bad because she left me.
Okay, you tell us what happened when you came back, but I won't come back from this break.
Thank you.
Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still looking at family relations. Yes, today you're going to tell us what happened where she refused to read for you.
Okay, so she refused to read the email, and for once I felt stabbed, because in my need, I just know I just felt at that point, and I was offended, and then I felt like taking it out on everybody, but I had to catch myself. That as a father, as a human being, anger is a negative emotion, and that's what I want to say to couples or even to parents. You have to learn to be emotionally intelligent in this season. You must be. So I called them and I said, you know what, you didn't do X, Y, Z correctly. I needed your help, and they started apologizing. Said, okay, she didn't know, blah, 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 and all of that. But I said, you know what, I have to forgive. So I practiced something I learned a long time, advanced forgiveness. So as parents, you must learn to forgive your son or your daughter.
Same goes for your spouse, right?
Yes. Oh. That's
Okay,
even more.
let me take that to Okemote. Okemote, talk to us about the couples at this time, within this period. I understand we have limited time. How should couples be behaving, seeing that they are seeing themselves more now than they were seeing before?
Okay. I want every couple to understand, especially those who have children, that you are the model your children would like to see. Whatever you want in your children, you are to model it. So in this period, this is the time we should, one, communicate. And communication doesn't mean just talking. Communication means talking, listening, evaluating what you're hearing, assimilating it before you respond. So if we're able to put this together, when you talk, I listen, I assimilate, I evaluate what you're saying so that I rule out assumption and misunderstanding in what you have just said before I respond. And then when it is time for me to talk, you do the same thing. We're able to give each other mutual respect. It's a time to love each other much more. It's a time to understand ourselves. Maybe the things we've never really exercised empathy towards each other or understand what the other person is going through. This is the time to talk about it and practice or learn empathy, to be concerned. Because sometimes we're so engrossed in our work, we don't seem to understand what the other person is going through. We've never had time to sit down to discuss, how is it with your work? How do you feel? How have you been managing? So this is the time for couples to look inward and talk. It's also a time for us to begin to put together our family goals. I was talking to a couple recently and I asked, what is your family vision? What is your family goals? There was nothing, okay? They had everything well laid out when it comes to their career, but not as a family, not as a couple. So I had to take them through the 5 alives, which is pay attention, as you pay attention to your work, pay attention to your family, pay attention to your health, pay attention to your goals, your finance, as a family, not just as an individual. So this is a time that couples need to learn to love each other, trust each other the more. Understand yourselves, know your temperaments. How is the makeup? How is my wife wired? How is the husband wired? You need to understand that. And then one more goal that you must put together as a family is your spirituality. No matter who you are, we all know that there's a grand overall designer who has created every one of us. We must learn to go back to him, to talk to him, to lay our issues together. And we must also learn to have, as couple, a family day. One day just for the two of us. What do we do on this day? Read, watch movie, the things you've never done before. It helps you to bond. It helps you to understand each other. And when you do this, your children would watch and they will know what life is all about. We must learn to respect each other. A lot of couples don't respect it, don't have mutual respect for each other. They have respect for their colleagues at the office, but they don't have the same respect for themselves. So we need to start learning how to respect each other, listen to each other, talk to each other, and above all, plan how we want our family to be. Okay? So it's not time for quarreling, it's not time for serious work. Take time to play. Have fun. When last did you do a pillow fight or pillow play as a couple? Hey, when time did you run behind and hug your wife, the way it used to be when you started? This is a time to reminisce on those things and start practicing it. Have fun, be happy, all right? Because when this lockdown is over, things will change. There will be a new normal, and we have to prepare ourselves for whatever is going to happen after the lockdown.
Bonkwam. Thank you very much, Okemuti Olori, parenting coach, joining us from our Abuja studio, and Tunde Eleshin, John Maxwell Certified Leadership Coach. Thank you both for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.